youngster in there as well. Let's see what happened down here. It was the first sack of the game by either team.
Well, there wasn't a real good fake on the dive, and everybody read it, and that's how you end up being knocked down as a quarterback. If you belly that man in, you freeze those linebackers, and you freeze the linemen, and then you can take your trip to the outside. He just kind of gave him a token pass, and that's when you get dinged.
Damon Johnson, tight end right, moves over to the right-hand side. There's a fumble. And Eric Watkins will have to dive on it, and he will all the way back at the 29-yard line. So it will be third down now. Third down and long.
Well, this play was played very well by number 22 for the Jason Martin. Did an excellent job of making the quarterback pitch it when he didn't want to, and that's when you put it out in that open area and lay it on the ground.
So they'll move it back to the 30. It'll be third down. Sticks are all the way up at around the 10-yard line. So they're about 20 yards shy. We'll see if Quentin will put it in the air. He will hand it off to Eric Watkins, and Watkins goes backwards, thanks in great part to John Shambelli, number 77, who wrapped him up. Loss of 2 on the play, and so it'll be fourth down. It'll gain of 2 on the play. It'll still be fourth down, about 18.
Well, I don't think you're going to see the ball in the air because Southfield's got a class coaching staff, and they're not going to rub it in. And if they can pick it up on the ground, fine. But I think for the most part, you're not going to see the ball go into the air.
See if we see any changes in that offensive line. We have not seen too many, if any, in this football game. Henry pitches it back to number 42, Philip Hosey. Hosey goes to the outside, and unfortunately that touchdown, which would have been the first of his varsity career, will be called back because of holding. So that had to hurt.
Yeah, the blocker, he took him down. It was a good takedown. It would have been, I think, in wrestling, you get 3 points for a takedown, is it?
Well, you'd have to ask Cal Fletcher because he used to coach wrestling at Southfield High School.
It's a takedown right there. He grabbed him by the shoulder pad and pulled him down. And good call by the official.
The other thing, too, Frank, is the fact that I don't know who it was, and we'd have to see a replay to double check it, but Henry got wrapped up as he delivered the pitch and was able still to get it to Watkins. And unfortunately, that 30-yard touchdown is brought back.
Well, I think Quentin Henry looks very good out there, and if something would happen to Philip Shane, he could come in and do a real nice job.
Pitches it back now to Philip Hosey, and Hosey again down the right side, and he is bumped down hard by number 45, David Subraka. And so the Eagles will take over now, holding the Jays on downs, first down and 10. 6:41 to go in the football game. It is Blue Jays 30 and Eagles 7.
Well, they're so nice and deep in backs. They can come in there with, Philip Hosey, 6 foot, 176 pounds. There's a lot of high school teams who'd love to have a back like him. He's a good hard runner, and he's showing a lot of potential, and I think he'll get more playing time as the season goes on when they can rest those the two-way players. Interestingly
enough, Frank, that was their longest drive of the game, 6 minutes and 11 seconds. They did exactly what they wanted to do, and that is eat up some time on the clock.
Fumble.
Carlos Griffin is the quarterback. There is a fumble, and we will see who comes up with it. Blue Jays are pointing, and it is indeed the Southfield Blue Jays who came up with a football.
Well, that really, deflates your balloon in a hurry. You finally stop them on defense, and you get the football back, and first down, you fumble it. But it's late in the game. People are tired, and a lot of substitutes in there.
30-yard line. Trying to see who recovered that fumble. But the Blue Jays have come up with yet another turnover.
Well, Deion Terrell had it in his hands. I don't know if he took it away from one of his own people, but he had the football.
Maps it now to the left side, and Henry will hand it off and right up the middle. He is bound and determined to get a touchdown. Kyle Singer has the football, and the Blue Jays move it straight up the middle to the 21-yard line. Kyle Singer on the run.
Well, Kyle Singer is a 6 foot, 185-pound junior. There's some nice running backs out there still for Southfield.
Well, we saw quite a few of these young men in the Silverdome game last year, where Cal Fletcher brought 6 of them up. he was able to do that because Lathrop did not have a JV team, and so he could give these kids a little exposure to the Silverdome. Krista Roja had a passenger, and the passenger was Kyle Singer again. So the Blue Jays are showing the ability to move the football up and down the field. They've been able to overcome a couple of, one turnover. And that was
just good straight ahead football. Good hard running by the backs. And Cal Fletcher's not trying to run the score up. He's staying very basic. He's running the ball from tackle to tackle. But you can't tell a kid not to score.
Shantez Sanford over the football for the Blue Jays. The handoff is to Nakia Maxwell, and Maxwell runs into 64. Krista Roja once again. So a legal pad is not long enough.
Well, Maxwell's another one of those talented juniors, 5'9", 150-pound junior, and Southfield showing that, you know, next year they're going to have a lot of people coming back and a team to be contended with again.
Split out now to the left side, number 23, Lamont Shoemate. We'll get them all in there now. Right up the middle and into the end zone goes number 42, Philip Hosey. So bound and determined as Quentin Henry was to get Hosey that touchdown that he missed the last time because of the holding call.
Well, I think Hosey at 6 foot, 176 pounds is going to see a lot more football as the season goes on. He's a nice low runner. He runs hard. He runs with determination. And he's going to be able to give Reynolds a rest out there because Reynolds is going both ways. Same with McCaskill.
The other thing they may be able to do is to use Reynolds in the pass pattern.
Yeah.
And be able to use that situation as well. Now we're going to get a timeout with 4:04 to go. The Blue Jays have cranked it up to 36-7, and Bill Bingham, well, Bingham's out there and Shane is out there, and maybe there was a discussion as to who was going to do the kicking.
Is McCaskill related to the basketball player from
He is a cousin of Mike Springs McCaskill, who played his high school ball, of course, at Southfield High and played his college ball at Eastern Michigan. Fat Bob's Kitchen. Well, we may visit somebody's kitchen when this is over, but every Monday and Friday you can see Mr. Taylor along with his special guests whipping up various culinary delights that will tempt your taste buds. That's Fat Bob's Kitchen on Continental's Channel 11. The man who, I'll tell you, he cooks as well as he sings. At least the food looks good. Here we go. Marvin Reynolds will hold, and Bill Bingham will try the extra point. Ball is down, the kick is up, and Bill Bingham bangs it through. With 4:04 to go, the Blue Jays now lead it 37-7, just 3 points shy of last year's score. The Blue Jays, I'll tell you, Frank, we've talked about this, and I guess it's as good a time as any to talk about it. Southfield probably will benefit as much as anybody by this new 8-tiered system. In other words, twice as many teams making the postseason playoffs, because Southfield lost a couple of games last year. They lost early to Brighton, and they lost late to Seaholm. And the situation is, you couldn't in the past afford to lose football games. Now they're going to have Troy, they're going to have Seaholm. They got to win at least one and possibly both of those games to get in the playoffs, but it won't be as crucial if they lose either one of those two games.
It's still going to be tough in the AA division because there's so many good football teams. But one thing that did happen is you see Brother Rice is down into the A, and there are some of the smaller A schools that have definitely been in the playoffs in the past are going to be down in the lower division.
So Hosey's touchdown, capping a 4-play, 30-yard drive. Bill Bingham will kick.
Back deep for the Eagle.
Back deep, Chris Mexico back there still. The catch will be made by Jason Martin at the 25. Martin ran a long way the last time. He's not going very far.